So just being able to see how they recognize and see the efforts that we do, connecting the value to food, and it's not just food, it's emotions, it's cultural, it's empowering, nutritious, right?
Now we get to take advantage of and keep on trying new things, and maybe there were innovations that we learned in the past few years that we can implement in this new norm and take it to the next level.
We talk about instilling a passion for a lifetime of continuous improvement is our mission, and we like to think of ourselves as a service arm that supports that, not only in providing them meals, but helping to provide them with that continuous achievement.
Welcome back to Next Up Podcast. We have Eagle Mountain Saginaw School District in the house. Yes, we are in Texas, and I just made a new friend, and her name is Darlene Lopez. So Darlene, I like to start by my podcast with doing like an origin story. Okay. So I want you to tell me how you got to where you are now, and then we'll let Megan do the same thing right after you.
All right. Well, I mean, we can start from baby years or
I mean, I got all the time in the world, so it's completely up to you.
Well, I'll make the story long short, but I'm Darlene. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, born and raised, moved around to the States when I was 20 years old. Kind of was in between what I wanted to be when I grew up, and then I took a class in Kansas State on nutrition, and that was it. It really inspired me to go that route. My first job out of my internship was in WIC, giving nutrition education for moms, children, and that part of connected me with the community even more and the child nutrition. So then I decided I wanted to be a school district dietitian, and that's what's taking me here now.
So you said you moved from Puerto Rico when you were 20?
Mm-hmm.
What school meals like in Puerto Rico?
School meal? Well, yeah. I went to an all-military school, and that's a great question. I didn't have meal patterns there. So we ate our home meals, like your rice and beans, we had fried food, we had a food truck. So it was a little bit of change. Of course, moving in here, I was more college campus meal, but coming into making menus for our schools is definitely kind of like a cultural shock, because you see relating to the meals now. When I was a kid, I couldn't at first relate, right? And then learning about all the regulations, but it was very different. I didn't have that. It was kind of like a free-for-all. So I can see where students would see, I can't get this here, I can't eat it here. But I understand the why and why we make the meals the way we make them and the nutrition value behind it. So
is Puerto Rico on the National School Lunch Program now, or are they still doing whatever they want?
Yes, some of the public schools, yes, they are, yes.
How many public schools are there, do you know? I know there's a lot, right?
I don't know, there's a lot. Unfortunately, there's been closures of some of them, but there is a lot of them in the municipalities. But as far as how many are in the program, I am not sure. It's been a very long time, but they are in the program, yes.
Yeah. And you said by you working through WIC made you want to get into school nutrition specifically?
Yeah, so my internship was in child nutrition already. I knew I wanted to be kind of like in the child education aspect, more in towards community. But I think when I finished my internship, COVID happened, and the shutdown happened. So I started with WIC, and all I had was a headphone, small room, no windows, and it was just connecting with people through the phone. Yeah. So you could hear all the emotions, all the need, and it just became just education, and food, and why food is important, and why our program is important for the WIC, and it just became more confirming that that's what I wanted to do, just be in a settings where I am setting up and helping for that future, and it just starts from childhood. So
yeah, that's cool. So Megan, you could probably answer this question because you've been doing this for a little bit of time now, and you're part of the academy. Do you see a lot of young employees come into school nutrition on the dietetic side with that on their mind from the very beginning?
We see some supervisors. We don't see as many on-site actual kitchen cafeteria staff employees. We do actually have some in our district that have studied nutrition and maybe just don't have their RD yet. So we do actually have two of our managers have nutrition degrees.
That's awesome.
And one of them is going back for her RD, and the other one has thought about it but hasn't yet. But usually they come in that supervisor role and then move onward to another district as a dietitian.
Okay, cool. It's your turn.
Okay.
So introductions.
All right.
Let's have it.
Well, I'm Meghan Martinson. I am, again, I'm the assistant director for child nutrition for Eagle Mountain Saginaw ISD. I've been there for almost 13 years. So I've watched a lot of the changes happen with the regulations, and I've been fortunate enough to be in a district that supports child nutrition and supports our programs. It's a really great place to be. I started in nutrition kind of like Darlene, taking a nutrition course and getting excited about it and going, oh, this is where I want to be. So I was a nursing major and pivoted from that. Blood was not necessarily my friend.
Yeah.
So, and now that I've had kids, I've kind of confirmed that. Probably wasn't the best choice for me. But I took a nutrition class in college, and I actually worked in the nutrition office as their student secretary on campus. And we took a trip to London and Paris, Germany, Sweden, and Denmark. It was a nutrition May semester.
Wow.
And learned about their healthcare and their nutrition and how nutrition is an important part of their healthcare, more so than our healthcare probably. And that's really when I was like, this is for me. I knew I wanted to do something with health and helping people, and that was when the light bulb went off for me.
So when you guys got into school nutrition specifically, was it what you expected or was it different?
So I kind of got thrown into school nutrition.
Yeah.
Right? I was in the NICU working at a hospital, clinical. I thought I would be clinical forever. I never saw myself in food service.
I hear that a lot.
Never saw myself in food service, and now here I am 13 years later.
And would you ever leave?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Best job ever. Yes.
No. My husband is a teacher and a coach, and we are big supporters of public education. And he saw the job actually posting come across. He worked for the district at the time, and he said, "I think you should try this." And I looked at him and I said, "Me?
Yeah.
No." And I've been there ever since. I've loved connecting with the staff, getting to see the same students day after day, year after year, getting to help, be such a big part of their lives, whether it's shaping their food choices later on in life or the nutrition education component. But I've kind of stuck around and loved it.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about your job, Darlene?
I think I love so many parts of it. There's the days that are challenging, like today we had freezers, trucks, and things like that. But I think just seeing the reward, right? Like for example, we are doing our fusion foods this month, and we kind of combine foods that they're familiar with and something that maybe it's from another culture that they're not as familiar with. So we kind of put it out there and see how it goes. And we just, for example, got a feedback yesterday from a teacher saying, I was in Korea teaching classes for years, and I just started here, and I was able to connect with one student that wasn't sure, and he had a background in there, and he got excited to see that meal. So just being able to see how they recognize and see the efforts that we do, connecting the value to food, and it's not just food, it's emotions, it's cultural, it's empowering, nutritious, right? It's connected to education. So it's just seeing how a little bit, just putting a menu together, how big of an impact it makes. And I feel that reward constant, and it's a very, very fulfilling position.
Okay.
I really like it. So.
All right. Well, how has it been working with Acting for Healthy Kids? Because that's why we're here today, right? Yeah, they're pretty awesome, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. So we had thought about, applying for an award, doing that, and working with Action for Healthy Kids for a while. And for us, it was kind of a little bit of a harder decision because we've already implemented quite a few of the changes that go along with that award. So we kind of needed
to just put it out there.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity for us, I think, as a district and a department to push ourselves even farther.
Yes.
We, like I said, had made a lot of those changes. We don't do really any canned vegetables at all. We do mostly fresh. We only do a couple frozen items. We do a lot of fresh fruit on the line. We've done a lot of
nutrition education. So when we were looking at all the qualifications, we were like, oh, we do this. Like, so she was like, why don't we go ahead and do it? And then So we kind of pushed it out there even more, and seeing our name, our district being out there and recognized, it was like, it's good. And it's not, it didn't feel like, oh, we did it for this. We were doing it. So it was really good to see how these changes have been already implemented and how we were able to let our community know what we were doing already and what we will continue to do. And we have fresh fruits and vegetables every day on that menu. There might be an applesauce, but there's still going to be a fresh orange. There's still going to be a fresh pear. There's still going to be a spinach. All the things that you think kiddos will not eat, they'll eat them because they see them constantly. So, the science is when you push it a few times, when you try a few times, that maybe they'll try it that 10th time, but they'll try it because they're being exposed. So it was very exciting to have the opportunity and do it and then just push it out there even more.
Yeah, I think they're such a great partner for schools and a great resource for schools, and that we maybe didn't even realize was out there until we started walking through this process. And like I said, that extra push from this program and this process to take what we were already doing and changing, we already had done, to that next level by tying it back to the community and furthering the education component.
Yes.
And you guys received the Innovation in Nutrition Education Award, correct?
Yes.
All right. So why are you guys so passionate about education, nutrition education?
I think with dietetics, it's just part of it, right? We're a community. It's about all stages of life. And education is a big part of it, right? When you're on a medication, you need to learn about it. You're on a diet, you need to learn about it. So just because it's part of child nutrition and the community we're dealing with, which is children, it needs to start early on. So, for example, what I do, I put nutrition pieces out there. We are showcasing our next month, right? We have our Farm Fresh Challenge. So I put all the produce from Texas that we can bring in, right? Local produce where we support our local growers. And I put a piece out there, and I'll send off these flyers, and managers will put them on their line. And if we have a special vegetable or fruit that kids might not be so familiar with, I'll put the benefits, so the nutrition that it brings, why it's good for you. And as they're picking out their tray, they can see. And it's exciting because sometimes it might be something that they're not used to see, and they'll just go ahead and grab it just because they're learning about it. So that nutrition and food put together, it kind of brings that extra benefit, right? They're like, oh, I see it, I might try it. Same with the fusion foods. They might not be familiar with, but just the fact that we're talking about it, they'll be more inclined to try it. And I think without the education, you're just really missing the point of just bettering them in the future and just being successful in school.
Did you guys roll out some new initiative that had to deal with sugars and whole grains?
So we're working toward that. We've obviously met everything for this year as far as our yogurts and cereals.
Yes.
We already do pretty much everything whole grain, with the exception of tortillas and
the mac and cheese.
The mac and cheese because of feedback. So the tortillas, again, just culturally, our area, they were not accepting of a whole grain tortilla. So for participation, that's really, we've only got just a couple of things, but we were already doing all of that. And then most of our sugars, most of our cereals met, our yogurt's already met, the chocolate milk already meets. We are working toward making a decision as far as breakfast and offering chocolate milk at breakfast, and we're not sure that we'll do that, so that we can continue to offer the choices that they want when they come through the line for breakfast. Beyond that, because chocolate milk takes up a lot of that sugar, but we've kind of already done quite a bit of that work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What does your district look like in terms of like how many students and sites? How big is your your team? That sort of thing.
So we have a little over 24,000 students.
Okay.
We have 34 kitchens. So we have 18 elementaries, 6 middle schools, 4 high schools,
daycare center.
We have an alternative learning center that we feed from out of a middle school. We have 4 bistros. 4 bistros within the high schools, so counting those in our kitchens.
Cool.
And then we have our admin bistro, our admin dining. And we have about, gosh, I want to say 220 employees right now. We're fully
Yeah.
staffed.
That's about right.
Congrats.
Yeah, it's
feels
great.
good.
It's nice
Feels
to hear
good
that.
be
Yes,
fully
we
staffed.
are loving that.
Yeah.
And we have lots of, for the first time in forever, we have lots of subs to choose
Yes.
from as
That is
well.
awesome. Congrats.
Yes.
So who is doing the training for the staff? Is it you two, somebody else? Like, who does it?
It really depends, right, on the training. Like I do all the reimbursable meals or all the allergy trainings, production records, inventory, kind of like more towards the managers, and then for staff is more the reimbursable meals. And then we have our safety trainings that maybe supervisors will give, HR, or like how to handle situations. That would be kind of Megan's side. So it's kind of like a team effort. Like we have a different team members in the office will give different trainings, but
Okay, cool. And do you guys, like, is your central office or your office, is it part of the district central office? Or you guys kind of like off-site?
Yeah, we are.
We are now.
Off-site?
So about 3 years ago, they took 6 buildings and combined them all. We're all together now
Yes.
as far as
Feels
central
good.
administration. Some of technology and maintenance are still out at another building.
Okay.
And the police department is at another building. But the rest of us, all of central administration's in one building.
Okay.
And we are right
Yes.
smack in the middle of it. So we feel like we
Yes.
are just kind of included in everything and
That's
part of
good.
the
It
conversation.
It makes it really easy to, you need to collaborate with marketing. You just walk down, the hall and be like, hey, catch them in the hallway. I'm trying to do this. What do you think? So it's
Before
really
we used to
good.
walk, like we used to have to walk outside to get to purchasing or to get to talking to the superintendent or whoever it might be.
Yeah.
And now they're just down the hall.
Yes.
That's awesome. So I have to ask, what are your guys' favorite items on your menu right now?
There's quite a few things. We have our famous steak fingers, right? Students, I think, love them. We have our nachos. They love them. We have spaghetti tacos, which was an initiative from Meghan a while back. That it started as a fusion food, and they loved it, and then it makes
heard
it to the
about
menu.
those.
It's kind of like how we start big menu changes. We put it as a fusion food. We test it in a few campuses, and depending on the feedback and survey that we get from students with that taste test, then it makes into the menu. So it's also the. Oh, sorry.
Is it a hard taco or a soft taco?
So it's a hard taco.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you put the spaghetti and meat inside of it. And
I need to try that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home today and make one.
we have done quite a few plays off of that. It's like you take your vessel and that's familiar, and then you put something else in it.
Yeah.
And so we've done a mac and cheese taco where it's half taco meat, half mac and cheese. We have done this week we did chicken tiki tacos, Korean tacos. We've done Asian spaghettis, one of the ones that's made it to the regular rotation on the menu.
Okay.
Chicken bacon ranch.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese, like a
Oh,
pizza.
that sounds good.
So that's a mix, but it did all start with spaghetti tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite?
My favorite thing on our menu, I think there's a few things. Our charo beans
Okay.
are one of my
Yes, they're
favorite.
really good.
They're really good. They do such a great job with the charo beans, and then our cinnamon spiced apples, our homemade
Yes,
cinnamon
they're
spiced
really good.
apples. I will literally go to a school just for those.
Yes.
But I think we've made so many improvements to our menu. You can't really go wrong. If we wouldn't eat it ourselves, we're not putting it on the menu. So tamales, we have local Texas tamales on the menu.
Family owned.
They're super great. We do all made with whole muscle or whole muscle chicken products, so that when you get that bite and pull, it's chicken, and that's really helped increase participation. So I think some of those products are, and menu items are some of my favorites to showcase. But the cinnamon spiced apples are, I look forward to serving Thanksgiving meals just for those. We do them year round too, but we do them for Thanksgiving, and I look forward to it.
So in terms of the innovation you guys are bringing to the table with your trainings, were you inspired by anybody else, or like what is a thing that you're doing that's innovative that you don't see other districts doing that you think they should do or could do?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think for us, again, tying it back for the nutrition education component, really trying to tie it into school meals and why we're offering what we're offering to you. So why is that on your tray? Why does it taste different than what you're getting at home? Why does it look different, taste different? Why are we making you take a fruit or a vegetable. Why is that important? Why is that whole grain biscuit different, like I said, than what you're getting at home?
The store,
And what are the benefits of it? So that we can help bridge that gap between those school meals and their lifelong nutrition and their habits that they're building. So I feel like that's really one of the big reasons that we wanted to move forward with more nutrition education. The newsletter for parents.
The newsletter, it was kind of like one thing, we mentioned earlier that we were already implementing some of these items, but we hadn't like pushed it out there. And we have discussed in the past, we get parent calls, we get concerns like, oh, why are we eating this? Or, even students say, oh, but why can't we fry it, right? So we like to explain the why, right? There's regulations, but other than regulations, there is the healthy aspect of it, right? It's okay to have some fried food, it's part of just life, right? You want to have a weekend treat or something, that is totally fine, but maybe not every day, right? So at schools, we kind of explain the why, baked or steamed, our baked fries, they're still very popular. They'll still eat them. And it's more of a, why is it lower sodium? Why is it lower sugar? We still offer shredded cheese, sliced cheese. It's just lower sodium, maybe lower fat. It's still going to be as good, just, nutritious meals. So educating the education piece is what really lets the kids to maybe see, okay, maybe just go ahead and try it before I knock it out, because it is important for us. We want to make sure you go to a class with a full belly, and then otherwise, it's going to be hard for you to focus in class. So that's why the nutrition part is just important, and it just can't be passed.
And I think that newsletter allowed us to reach the community and the parents too. So we were already reaching the students in a lot of ways. But if you're not reinforcing that at home, or if the parents and the community aren't understanding, then not only do they not get that same education the students are receiving, and they can reinforce it at home, but also that's when you get the concerns and those questions that come across. Why are you doing this? And so helping to get them on board. So I think that community and family newsletter was really the thing that we're proud of.
Helping extend that beyond the students, beyond the parent, beyond the teachers, right? So recently we just shared a post on Facebook, and I talked about, okay, we're back in school, let's get back on track to our, more like routine. So I shared some tips to eat on evenings and weekends, on snacks, because I have a daughter, she comes home from school, and she's like, can I have a snack? Can I have a snack? Can I have a snack? But sometimes those snacks, it's expensive, right? Of snacks after snack. And also, like, we want to make sure that snack is gonna fulfill you until it's dinner time, right? So we eat something that is lower in calories or empty calories, you're going to be hungry again in 1 hour, and they're running around. So we share tips about how to make those quick, easy, affordable snacks for you to eat at home, evenings, after school, and weekends. So we take it beyond just our school breakfast and the school lunch. It's like, how can we help parents, our community, continue those habits outside of our school doors? So
that's really cool. So, how many people or how many email addresses does the newsletter circulate to?
So we actually don't know how many people we're reaching at this point in time.
Okay.
We're still working on a way to track it, because a lot of it mostly goes out through social media and then through our website. Our district just switched companies as far as how notifications go out to parents. Okay. So we're still learning how to even do that process.
Back to that.
Yeah. So they switched. So we were comfortable with the one, and now we're having to learn another one. So I think with this one, there'll be more ways to measure. From what I'm understanding, you'll be able to see how many people have clicked on it, opened it, and we couldn't really see that before. So
that's awesome. It's almost like you guys are teaching life lessons in a way too.
Yeah. So we like to talk about like our mission as a school district, and we talk about instilling a passion for a lifetime of continuous improvement is our mission. And we like to think of ourselves as a service arm that supports that, not only in providing them meals, but helping to provide them with that continuous achievement, that by giving them that also the lifelong habits for the healthy eating.
Yeah. So I'm sure there are districts out there that are thinking about this newsletter and they're like, how in the world do I get started doing this? So how would they like, what are some simple tips that they can use to get started with their own newsletter?
I think what I've done is kind of seeing what's needed out there. So getting out in schools or getting that student, kind of like hands-on, like you can start with just taste testing and see where the gap is, or seeing what they're interested in. And then you can kind of put something together. It doesn't have to be difficult. It could be something that's happening next month, right? Let's see, I think I read like next month is like National Apple Day. So it can be an easy like, hey, here's the actual National Apple Day. So here are some nutrition and some benefits that you get from apple. And then start from there. And one of the things that, we do is just taste testing. We have student councils that we kind of like have them help us with the menu and taking that feedback. You can put it in the newsletter like, hey, our students, we have a group of students and they give a feedback on menus and what they like, what they think should be better. We discuss our nutritional requirements and regulations. So it kind of like helps also those students understand that and share with other students the why. And our goal is to get them to try our food and know that it's good food, it's fresh, it's nutritious. So those little things that you can start and then just share them and see how the public takes them. And like Megan said, our goal is to get back into a way or in partnership with our community marketing. I have shared with t-shirts before, so it'll be like beyond that. So it's just making those connections. And
I think the best way to find out is to listen. Just listen to the conversation and the kids. Watch them go through the line and say, and you can hear them say, what's that, and why do we have to take that?
Kids are very honest;
so,
they'll
they
tell
are.
you.
And then, like Darlene said, we have a student voice council that comes. So it's a group of students from every single campus, and they come together a few times a year, and we like to get involved in that to get their feedback. It's very valuable, and yes, feedback on menu items, but they're also giving you feedback as far as, well, you're not understanding this, or why do I have to eat this way, or I will be in there and they'll ask, I'm a student athlete, what should I be eating? They find out you're a dietitian, so you just have to pick up on it and be observant and just listen to your kids and your community, and I think that's kind of how you can find out.
What's your guys' experience been like using social media to communicate all the changes and the education and everything you guys are doing that's innovative and cool in the district?
Yes. So our district wouldn't let us have a social media account for a very long time. So when we were making a ton of these fun changes and doing the fun menu items, we had no way to really share it.
Yeah.
And so now that we have a voice, it's great. We have a platform, and I think we're really enjoying it.
It's been positive feedback.
Yeah, we utilize whatever tools are at our fingertips. Whatever free AI designing programs we can get our fingertips
I have learned
on.
how to use Canva in the last year. My daughter knows how to use Canva.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about putting anything together. So my flyer from years ago to now have gone from 1 to 10.
Yeah.
So it's just
We're
using our
learning.
resources and learning. But it's from what we see, it's been positive, and I love to see other districts sharing our posts, parents liking our posts or sharing. Even our staff will react to it or say, "You guys are doing an amazing job." And so it's just we are definitely trying, but it's been positive so far.
It's a really easy way to get your message out. I think we are realizing that us sharing is not enough, though. We don't have the following that each of the schools have or that the district has. And so what really helps is when a school reposts it, or when the district reposts it, or when somebody else reposts it.
That's a great point.
Yes.
So that's what's really helped, and that's what we're learning about with the social media.
Yeah, combined network influencing. Yeah,
Yes.
it works. What platforms are you guys on?
We are just on Facebook right now. Yeah, the district has been they're pretty big into Facebook. They don't really do a whole lot with Instagram.
I haven't seen a lot of Instagram.
Yeah, mostly that's going to be some of the campus level. Some of the groups might do stuff, but our district is pretty much purely a Facebook, which we understand doesn't really necessarily meet the kids, and more so might meet our families and our parents.
Yeah.
Which is why we combine that hands-on stuff that we're doing with the students and the posters that we do at the schools with that social media, and using the newsletters on the social media is a great way to help bridge that, because we know that that's really where the parents are, but that is the platform that they've chosen. We know the kids are on other things.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully one day that they let you guys move over to things like Instagram, because you have younger parents on Instagram and some kids are on Instagram, but then that's a really good place to highlight like really good looking food photos and videos and those sorts of things. Yeah, but it's good that you're on Facebook. I mean, lots of districts don't have that luxury to have their own school nutrition Facebook. So
yeah, they trust us, you know, with the comments and everything. Of course, they've got it all set so that we can't have any.
I like that you said photos, because I was just literally taking photos. Like we go beyond just, we are photographers too. We are the marketing team too. We're the technology.
Wear many hats.
She got a little box.
I got the
to
light
make.
box.
Yep,
So
there you go.
we test the recipes and then take pictures and then share them out to the staffs to tell them, hey, this is how it should look. And I think I took like 20 of them, and I would text them like, what do you think about this one? What do you think about this one?
That's awesome.
So it's just definitely many hats. So
yeah, I believe it. So what are you guys looking forward to for this current school year that just started? Anything like on the horizon that you guys are pumped up about?
I think thinking about the goals that you set right when the previous year ends, I put definitely more nutrition education, more partnerships with community, like the dairy farm with Oak Farms. I've been in contact with them to get them back into school for National School Lunch Week and breakfast week.
Yeah.
So it may seem far out, but it's those partnerships. So just getting more of those partnerships in, more education activities to get the kids exciting. Like they bring the cow and they can see how milk is made and how it comes from the cow all the way to your tray.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to those opportunities. We have our Farm Fresh Challenge next month. So I've been in contact with some principals that are able to have us over and showcase some of our different recipes, Texas produce. So I'm looking forward to that.
I think this year is a good getting back to normal year finally, as much as that sounds weird, but it's taken this long to get your staff back and your stock back. Like all of our items are in stock now, you know. I think that we're finally able to take a deep breath and go back to the fun stuff.
Yes.
And it's taken a while to get there, unfortunately. So we're really excited to do new things, like introducing more fusion foods. We've kind of just mixed them in, you know, past ones that we've done and kind of just rotated them through. But now we can actually count on
Make some new
our
ones.
supply channel and getting all of that in and making new ones and having some fun. Trying new recipes with students, trying new products with students. We have the staff and we have the ability to actually do those things that we were kind of minimally doing before. So I think this is our year. We're really excited to just go full force and do all the fun things.
You know, it didn't really occur to me until what you just said, but I feel like we are finally back at that new, or we're at the new normal. Like things have normalized for the most part, and now we get to take advantage of it and keep on trying new things, and maybe there were innovations that we learned in the past few years that we can implement in this new norm and take it to the next level. It's pretty neat. Have you been to a dairy farm yet? I have to ask.
We went to,
We have taken a tour of a facility.
Yes. Okay.
We've not been to a dairy farm yet. I have personally been to a dairy farm, but we have not.
not this one.
We are planning on taking all of our managers to tour a dairy facility.
That'd be cool.
We feel like it's valuable for them not just to have an in-service day where they're learning and we're teaching them, but they need hands-on too.
Exactly.
They need hands-on just like the kids do.
Yep.
And they also need to know what goes into those meals and before it gets to them. They know the love and the hard work that they put into it, but they don't always necessarily recognize
the whole picture,
the hard work that goes on before it gets to their back door.
That's a lot of hard work.
Yes, so I really think that it'll be beneficial for them to get that. Maybe rolling in a farm tour after that.
Yes.
But this year we're planning on taking them to tour a milk facility.
That's neat. I went on my first dairy farm tour with Indiana Dairy this past year, and it was so cool. It was awesome. And then we got to try some like fresh ice cream and yogurts and all the stuff from the milk that they got from the farm. It was a really cool experience.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. And it's just amazing how hard the local farmers work.
Yes.
Like they put a lot of love into what they do, and it's not easy, and they need great partners like you guys to collaborate with them so we can serve kids farm fresh foods like I'm sure you guys are doing. Yeah. So in closing, what would you say what's one thing that you learned about Action for Healthy Kids in your partnership with them, or something that excited you about working with them, or what was your favorite part about working with them?
You wanna-
Yeah. I would just say even that they're there as a resource. I mean, it always kind of
Their
had been in the
support.
background, like you'd heard about it. You'd heard about Action for Healthy Kids, but maybe not dealt with them directly. And so I would just say knowing that they're there is probably the biggest benefit. I don't, you know.
They offer grants and opportunities and just their help to put us out there in the map and getting that recognition and just showing other districts doing the same. For me, it was very important because then you see that we take, not just us, but a lot of school districts take the health of our children, our future, very serious. And knowing that we have that resource and those that support, it really was a really good experience and just helping us.
Well, they really tie it all together, right? They're not just focused on child nutrition.
Yeah.
So they really help to tie it all together, whether they're working with SHAC or whether they're working with, you know, any other organizations. They really help to be that voice beyond us for child nutrition too. So.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed from my personal experience working with them, and I've heard it from a few others too, is their team is just fantastic and supportive. And I think almost all of them, must be almost if not all of them, have had experience of working in some area of school nutrition, and they understand and they get it, and they're equally as passionate about what they do as you guys are as well. So they make great partners. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys hopping on the podcast. I know you were a little bit nervous at first, but you did great. That was awesome.
I'm always nervous, and then I'm like, okay, wasn't too bad.
You're natural. But seriously, thank you guys for taking the time to come on, and thank you guys out there for watching.
Thank you.